Hey there. Do you suffer from hormonal migraines, especially around that time of the month? And are you going through perimenopause? Or are you in menopause and you suffer from migraine and headaches? Well, I think you'd like this video. I'm going to be sharing my routine with how I manage hormonal migraines. So please keep watching. The first thing I wanted to share are some tools that I have been using that help manage hormonal migraines. So the first thing I wanted to share is an eye mask, a blackout eye mask, and this one's all nice and silky and satin, is a must. As you know, blackout curtains also help, and anything that is going to block out light is going to be your best friend. I also love these earplugs. They're very bright. These are Laser Light by Howard Leight, Leight by Honeywell. And these earplugs, I find when you pinch them and roll them in and then insert them into your ear, they work really, really well at blocking the noise. I have trouble with earplugs. Some seem to not just like go in deep enough or fit well. And these like grow and expand so that they can like block out the noise. But I noticed that they will stop working after like if you use them. I use them multiple times because it's just me, but they will start to lose their shape. So I buy these in bulk and they've been so great. I don't know what I'd do without these. I would also have migraines so badly that I would have to like wear one in my ear and keep one open just to be around children or kids or like my daughter, or like just to block out like that background noise if you're going to an event or something. They're really, really great for that. The next thing I have is this sort of ice pack thing that kind of goes over your head. I won't put it over my head though. It has ice around this whole area. So that'll fit mostly like right here around your forehead. And it's flexible on the top. There's no ice up here. But there's ice like, again, in these two areas. And so for me, it would like hit here and maybe around there. But I found actually that this was too much for me, but I brought it out here to just show you like ice does help, like especially like on my forehead. But putting it around my whole head, it just was like almost too painful. So I find that using a heating pad around my shoulders, because I get a lot of neck migraines or neck headaches. And the heating pad really helps with that part of it. And then the ice or the cooler part helps with my forehead. So I guess it just depends on where you're getting your migraine points of pain. And, but the thought, or I've heard somebody state that they use the combination of heat and ice. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so genius. And so I've been doing that and it's been really, really great. Next thing I absolutely love, because it just breaks up the pain map and the pain areas and the nerves and the sensations during a hormonal migraine, is when my husband just scratches lightly, you know, like my head, just like all over, and especially like right here on the top where it sometimes tends to center right here, the migraine pain. And it just feels so good. And just him doing that until like my meds kick in is just like all I need, really. So if you can get somebody to do that for you, amazing. I wish they would invent some kind of tool or something I could just plop on my head and it would do that for me. Another thing I like to use, but I'll be honest, it doesn't work all that great, but it does just help with like, if you're feeling that nausea along with your headache, is an essential oil. And this is a migraine support essential oil. You can use whatever, you know, brand that you believe in and or really, really enjoy. This one just happens to be Rocky Mountain Oils, but I really like Young Living and doTERRA and everything. But yeah, if you have an essential oil that is your favorite, that you actually feel like it works, let me know down in the comments, because maybe I just need to change it up a little. Also, I notice whenever I use a migraine support essential oil, like on my neck, I tend to break out after using it. So that kind of stinks. So it makes me like not want to use it as much or as liberally. Number 2, let's talk about just plain rest. Sometimes it's just what you need. That's the only way you're going to get through it. You're going to take your meds, and then you're going to lay down and you're going to rest with your trusty eye mask and your earplugs. And that's what's going to do it for you. And really, there is nothing more to say other than just getting some really, really good rest. All right, let's talk about meds. Now, meds are huge and important and have definitely played a role in relief and management. A little bit about my history with some of these meds, and these are just in my case. I tried the injections, the ones that are very painful, and you do it about once a month. And I tried 2 different brands. I think Emgality and Ajovi, or I think that's what it was called. They did not work for me, and I suspect because my migraines were more hormonal based. So I am very happy with my neurologist. Find a good neurologist. That's going to really help you, who really helped me find a good preventative. So actually, is this a preventative? No, this is an abortive. So this is called Nurtec. And this tastes good. It's kind of like a slight like mint flavor, and it just dissolves in your mouth. And the tablet is, you know, it's not too small, but it's not too large. It's fine. And it dissolves within like a minute. And I do notice that I find relief within about a half hour, but only for up to 2 hours. That's the only downside about this medicine, is that it tends to come back if it's going to be a hormonal migraine that lasts longer. I notice after 2 hours it starts to come back, and so that's the only down part of it. And then for the ones that are, I call them my big whoppers, and they are the ones that I get like a level 9 pain with, where I'm trying everything I can to keep from like throwing up because the pain is so bad. I can't even move because movement even just causes like the nausea and everything. I use this nasal spray, and I don't know if you can see that. It says 2.5 milligrams, but that's only because for whatever reason, my doctor here cannot order the 5 milligrams, but 5 milligrams is what I need for my dose, and the tablets do not work for me. So apparently they make tablets of this, but when I take them, it does not work. I have to, so I don't know if my like body is just not like synthesizing it correctly, or it just doesn't do it as effectively. But when I can do a nasal spray in this, it works within 15 minutes and it takes it away completely. The only downside about this med, and it's why I don't really like to take it, is that it is a nasal spray and it causes like the drainage in the back of your throat. Like the medicine, you can taste it, and then it stings. It stings really bad, to the point where after I take this medicine, I have to drink something for 5 to 10 minutes just to keep that horrible sore throat feeling that it gives. So for that reason, I didn't really like this, using this every time I get a migraine or anything. So I just wait until it's like really, really bad and I use this. Another favorite, and I forgot to grab my little pill bottle, but it's Excedrin migraine. But I only like to use it in the day, and because, you know, you don't want to be taking it at night or after 3 p.m. And so it's not going to work all the time for me. And so that's why if it's a daytime headache, I will use Excedrin migraine, and that works really efficiently. And another thing, it puts me in a really good mood, which is just really weird. I don't know, maybe it's the caffeine, I don't know what, but it works really good and it puts me in a good mood. So I do use it. I've noticed a lot too with just, if it's more of a neck migraine, ibuprofen works really well for that as well. But I usually have to use it in a combination of like with the Nurtec or something like that. That's when I'll reach for the ibuprofen. But again, I don't really love to reach for the Excedrin migraine or the ibuprofen because NSAIDs, and you know, they're not the greatest for us, but they are effective in pain management. Okay, and finally, the most important, I guess what you would say is a preventative, and a medicine. I guess it would be a medicine. I don't know. But it has been the number one best preventative for me and my hormonal migraines, and that is Botox. I waited so long to try Botox because I didn't love the idea of injecting chemicals or just the idea of getting like, needles stuck into your face and into your head and into your shoulders, because that's where I get them. I get over 30 injections around here, in my scalp, and in my neck. It's not pleasant, and it's very painful for, the experience. And then after that, the day after, it's like my body reacts to the chemicals that have just been injected. And I don't feel great. Like, that's what some people call getting a Botox headache after getting Botox. And it is true. That is the downside of Botox. But the wonderful thing is that my neurologist offers a clinic where she does them, and everybody just comes in and gets their injections on like that day or whatever. And I get them about anywhere from, I think insurance improves 12 weeks. But if I could get them sooner, that would be great too. But I don't know. I think I'd have to go through a special approval process for that. But my insurance covers it, which is great. And it works. It works so well, to the point where I will only feel like maybe that big whopper headache and maybe one other headache. So I maybe have like 2 to 3 headaches that I actually feel during the month, rather than having them almost every day. So it has made the most dramatic impact in my life. I know that it's not a permanent solution. I know that it would be considered a Band-Aid solution. But as my hormones, as I go through the change, right? And they fluctuate and it worsens, I know it's only a temporary stage in my life. And for that reason, Botox is working right now, and I am using it. And I am doing everything I know in my power, alternative ways to treat these hormonal migraines. I have looked into hormonal therapy, and it just, after talking with my doctor and how I have responded to any slight kind of like hormonal creams or progesterone or any of those things that I have done in the past, it just makes everything worse. And that includes birth control. Like I just really couldn't take birth control. It just messed with my hormones so much. So with that knowledge, I'm doing my best in trying to find alternative methods. And again, like I said, I know this is only going to be temporary. And it is helping me function so I can live my life right now. So, yes, I wish I would have been open to Botox sooner. I feel like I could have saved years of suffering. Okay, now with meds out of the way, I started also having another type of headache that I wasn't sure was not related to hormonal migraines. So the difference with these headaches were that I would wake up and they would be there as soon as I would wake up, and sometimes in the middle of the night too. And then they would dissipate during the day after I had been up and more active and what have you. And I went to my, just my yearly checkup with my doctor. And of course, because I am 47 now, and going through the change, like my body is changing. Like I suddenly got high blood pressure. I've never suffered from blood pressure problems at all until I reached my late 40s. And so with being on a blood pressure medication, those headaches have been gone. I can tell, like, if I've missed a day or two of taking the blood pressure medicine, that morning headache will be there. So definitely try to recognize if you are having a different type of headache like that. It could be something like a separate issue. And of course, my goal is to be able to not have to be on that blood pressure medication anymore, and managing with my diet and exercise. So I'm working towards that. Okay, let's talk about dietary changes or any kind of diet that you could be eating that would improve hormonal migraines. So the number one impact I have noticed with my hormonal migraines is cutting out foods that have a lot of hormones. And for me, that is dairy. I noticed when I cut out dairy, it really helps with my headaches. I still tend to be fine with meats, especially like chicken and everything. So for that reason, I haven't cut out meat at all. But I have noticed dairy definitely makes an impact. And I have also, through my life, made note of other migraine triggers I have, which happen to be, for me, chamomile tea, or just chamomile, the herb. And then any kind of alcohol definitely will do that to me. And then, what was the last one? Oh, turkey. So I would notice I would get these huge headaches, horrible migraines after Thanksgiving dinner. And so I started putting two and two together and realizing turkey. The funny thing is like I can eat processed turkey meat, like from Oscar Mayer, like that lunch meat. That doesn't seem to bother me as much, probably because it's so processed. But like having actual, just like even organic turkey, or just, the more close it is to being, non-processed, it actually affects me more as a migraine trigger. So definitely like look for your migraine triggers and obviously, avoid them. But I have noticed the cleaner that I eat, a non-processed diet, and for me it looks like a paleo type diet. I do eat organic brown rice. I tend to do okay with that. And it gives me more carbs that help me with pain management, actually, because I found that when I went too low carb, previously, like on keto or something, my headaches got worse. And that probably also had to do a lot with the dairy intake I was doing while on that keto diet. So I have noticed that if I keep my carbs between like 150, I tend to do better with overall pain, fibromyalgia pain, that sort of thing. So yeah, with dairy, because I just love cheese and everything, I do not eliminate it completely at this time. It's too hard, especially during the holidays. So I do treat myself to having dairy occasionally. And I do notice like the side effects of that. Like the next day I will get acne and I will just get like this dairy breakout on my face. And then I will like probably feel a headache that I didn't feel before. So, I try not to have it too often, but sometimes you just have to have like real cheese. You know what I mean? All right. The final thing I wanted to share with you is a picture of a time when I got something called cupping done. And it's not the prettiest picture. So I will share it here if I can find it. But it's showing you the lack of where I'm getting blood flow back here in my migraine area, my neck headache area. And I just wanted to share that with you to kind of visually put pain into a picture, basically, to show you how much that suffering is back there. And also it visually shows me personally, look at the lack of blood flow that is coming through to that area. So I make sure that I get a massage 2 to 3 times a month, especially focusing in this area and in the neck to increase that blood flow. It'd be great if you have a partner too that can give you a massage to increase blood flow to some of these high pain areas. I also wanted to share a little bit more about, I have my little notes here, that's why I keep looking, but I wanted to share about my cervicogenic headache diagnosis. Basically, that just means like those neck headaches that I'd be getting. But they are related to my hormonal changes through the month. And I tried getting some nerve block injections, which were successful, but they're extremely, to me, felt extremely dangerous to get done. They are injecting a needle between your spine and your neck and your discs and that area. And it's a very risky procedure. The injections are just very risky, and I didn't feel like that was going to be something that I wanted to do on a long-term basis. And I was only getting about 2 weeks of relief from those injections. And to me, it just wasn't worth it if I, to keep up on that sort of thing, the risk, the danger of that. It just wasn't a long-term solution for me. So this concludes my migraine routine. Some things that I do want to try in the future is experimenting with an estrogen supplement, and I'll insert a picture here of what it's called. I have been taking it on and off through, I would say, the past couple of years, but I'm not quite sure when to take it. And because I'm not getting a cycle anymore, I don't know where to time it in terms of like when I could use that extra estrogen. So I'm still kind of playing around with it. These are just, things that I want to try and see if it makes a difference. And not only that, maybe it would help with other symptoms that I have that aren't just hormonal migraines, just basic perimenopause symptoms that we all have, right? So these are some of the things that I want to try and look into. And of course, just, diet, exercise, managing stress, rest, all of these types of things are going to make the biggest impact on our hormones and our hormonal migraines. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope that you can find relief. I am also a chronic pain coach. So if you're interested in working with a coach to help you develop your own pain management system, your own pain toolbox, where you can go to and create kind of a plan, I would love to help you with that. And so let me know if you're interested. You can go to my website, RebeccaWirtz.com. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a migraine-free day.